Ponzi Scheme. This fraudulent investing scam promises high rates of return with little risk to investors. The scheme generates returns for older investors by acquiring new investors. The term Ponzi scheme was coined after Charles Ponzi's 1920 operation, where he promised 50% returns on investments in postal reply coupons. At first, returns were paid as promised, creating a sensation. Yet, it was all smoke and mirrors, funded by incoming investors. Ponzi's scheme eventually collapsed, leaving many financially ruined. This historical scam serves as a stark reminder of greed's consequences and the importance of skepticism in investments. Pyramid scheme. Unlike Ponzi schemes that revolve around investments, pyramid schemes are structured on a hierarchy where participants earn money primarily by recruiting new members into the scheme. A portion of the entry fees collected from new members is paid upwards in the pyramid. A famous example is the case of Herbalife, which faced allegations of operating a pyramid scheme by incentivizing recruitment more than product sales, although it has settled with regulatory bodies without admitting to running a pyramid scheme. The Burn Lounge case from the mid-2000s is another modern cautionary tale. Burn Lounge sold music through a multi-level marketing scheme, but primarily rewarded members for recruiting others, not for the music sold. In 2012, the FTC ruled it a pyramid scheme, ordering Burn Lounge to pay $17 million in damages. This story highlights the allure of easy success and the painful reality of schemes built on recruitment over real sales. Advance fee fraud. Here, scammers target victims by promising them a large amount of money in exchange for a small upfront payment. Once the payment is made, the promised money never materializes. This scheme is also known as the 419 scam, or Nigerian prince scam. An example you personally may face includes receiving an email from a Nigerian prince claiming to need help transferring his fortune out of the country, promising a substantial share of the wealth in return for a small fee to facilitate the transfer. One of the most infamous real-life examples involves Emmanuel Nwood, who, between 1995 and 1998, sold a fake airport to a Brazilian bank for $242 million. Posing as the Central Bank of Nigeria's governor, Nwood convinced the bank to invest in a non-existent airport. This story stands as one of the largest advance fee frauds in history, a grand deception that underscores the lengths to which scammers will go. Phishing scams. These scams involve tricking people into giving away confidential information such as passwords, credit card numbers, and social security numbers. This is often achieved by sending emails or creating web pages that closely mimic those of legitimate businesses or social media sites. An example is receiving an email that appears to be from your bank, asking you to click on a link and enter your account details to verify your identity. The link leads to a fake website designed to steal your information. In 2016, a Lithuanian hacker named Evaldas Rimasauskas orchestrated a phishing scheme that defrauded Google and Facebook out of over $100 million. By creating fake email accounts and invoices that mimicked those of a real Asian manufacturer, he tricked the companies into wiring funds to his bank accounts. This audacious scam highlights the sophisticated nature of phishing attacks and the importance of vigilance in the digital age. Romance scams. Who doesn't want to find love? Scammers take advantage of people looking for romantic partners, often via dating websites, apps, or social media, by pretending to be prospective companions. They play on emotional triggers to get their victims to provide personal details or send money. A common scenario involves the scammer slowly gaining the victim's trust before claiming to need money for an emergency, a plane ticket to visit, or a similar pretext. Perhaps one of the most heartbreaking stories is that of a woman who lost $2 million in a romance scam. The scammer, posing as a successful businessman, built a relationship with her over 2 years, convincing her of his love and intentions to marry. Gradually, he began requesting money to unlock a supposed inheritance. By the time she realized the truth, her savings were gone. This real-life tragedy shows the devastating impact of romance scams, exploiting loneliness and trust for financial gain. Pump and dump stock scams. In this case, fraudsters artificially inflate the price of a stock they own by spreading false and misleading information. Once the price has risen, they sell their shares at the elevated price. A story that captured public attention involved the company Stratton Oakmont, immortalized by the movie The Wolf of Wall Street. Under the leadership of Jordan Belfort, the firm manipulated stock prices in a classic pump and dump operation. Through aggressive sales tactics and misinformation, they inflated stock prices only to sell off their holdings at a massive profit, leaving unsuspecting investors in financial ruin. Binary options scams. The allure of quick profits has often led many down the sticky path of binary options trading, where platforms promise the moon but deliver stones. A striking example is the case of several Israeli firms, which, before a crackdown in 2017, managed to defraud thousands worldwide through rigged trading platforms. These operations would manipulate software to create the illusion of profitability, only to drain investors' funds. The global scope of this fraud underlines the importance of regulatory attention and the need for traders to tread carefully in markets that promise implausible returns. Real estate scams. The dream of homeownership often leads unsuspecting victims into the hands of scammers. Scammers post fake rental or real estate listings, collecting deposits or personal information from interested people without owning the property. The story of American fugitive Matthew Cox, who forged documents and stole identities to obtain mortgages and properties, underscores the devastating impact of real estate fraud. Another scammer in New York City duplicated legitimate rental ads but changed the contact information, collecting deposits and first month's rents from multiple victims for apartments he neither owned nor managed. This scheme, exploiting the high demand and low availability in housing markets, serves as a good reminder to verify property ownership and the legitimacy of listings before exchanging money. Lottery or prize scams. Victims receive notifications that they've won a lottery or prize but must pay a fee or provide personal information to claim it. Of course, the prize does not exist. One famous case involved scammers in Jamaica targeting elderly Americans, convincing them they had won millions in a lottery but needed to pay taxes before claiming their prize. The victims, lured by the promise of a financial windfall, lost thousands to a prize that never existed. The operation led to the extradition and conviction of several individuals, including mastermind Laverick Willocks. This scam, which has seen countless variations over the years, preys on hope and the allure of sudden wealth, leaving financial devastation and shattered dreams in its wake. Tax scams. Tax season often brings with it a surge of scammers looking to make money on the anxiety and complexity surrounding tax filings. A chilling example of this is the pervasive IRS impersonation scam in the United States, where victims received calls from fraudsters claiming to be IRS officials. They demanded immediate payment of back taxes through gift cards or wire transfers, threatening arrest, deportation, or license revocation. This nationwide epidemic of fraud not only emptied pockets, but also shook the very foundation of trust in authority. Investment seminars. The promise of financial independence and wealth creation draws many to investment seminars, where charismatic speakers sell the dream of making it big. However, behind the motivational speeches often lies a scheme to profit from expensive, useless training programs or non-existent investment opportunities. A striking case involved a real estate seminar company endorsed by a TV personality, which lured attendees with free workshops that led to high-pressure sales pitches for expensive training packages. Many attendees, swayed by the dream of easy money and the authority of a celebrity endorsement, found themselves thousands of dollars poorer with nothing to show for it. The only guaranteed winners were those running the seminar. Insurance fraud. Scammers often exploit the trust placed in insurance to provide security in times of need. A notorious incident involved a fake insurance company that sold health policies nationwide, collecting premiums without ever intending to pay out claims. When policyholders submitted claims, they were met with endless bureaucratic delays until the scam was exposed. This left countless people with significant financial losses and no coverage. Debt elimination scams. Scammers promise to negotiate with creditors to eliminate victims' debts for an upfront fee. Victims pay the fee, but the scammer either disappears or does little to no negotiation, leaving the victim in deeper financial trouble. In a notorious case, a company advertised a legal credit solution, promising to make consumers' credit card debt disappear by exploiting loopholes in the credit system. The company charged upfront fees ranging from hundreds to thousands of dollars. Victims, lured by the promise of being debt-free, found themselves facing not only the original debt amounts but also additional fees, interest, and, in some cases, legal action from creditors. The company provided little to no actual service, and the promised debt elimination never happened. Tech support scams. Victims are contacted by scammers claiming to be tech support from a well-known company, warning of a non-existent virus or security breach to gain remote access to the victim's computer. A particularly shocking case saw scammers targeting Microsoft users, claiming their computers were infected with malware. These scammers offered to fix the problems for a fee, often gaining remote access to victims' computers to steal personal information. Microsoft, having never initiated these calls, later issued warnings to help educate users on this growing threat, emphasizing the importance of skepticism towards unsolicited tech support offers. Charity scams. In the aftermath of natural disasters, the best of humanity often shines through in the form of charitable donations. Yet, this generosity also attracts scammers who set up fake charities. After the 2010 Haiti earthquake, lots of fraudulent charity websites popped up, soliciting donations for relief efforts that never reached those in need. One such scam involved a fake organization that collected tens of thousands of dollars from well-meaning donors, only for the funds to vanish into the pockets of fraudsters. These scams exploit sympathy and goodwill, transforming acts of kindness into instruments of theft.